My dearest friend, if your eyes are tracing these words, it's not by chance. There's a reason you're here, even if you can't see it yet. Maybe you're searching for something, a sign, a breath of hope, or simply a reason to keep going. Whatever it is, don't scroll away just yet. Stay with me. This isn't just another article. It's a sanctuary. A sacred pause where your spirit can finally exhale. A refuge where your heart finds peace, and your soul is embraced by a love beyond understanding. Have you ever felt like screaming in a room full of people, but no one hears you? Or like carrying a weight so heavy, even though no one else can see it? I know that feeling. And if you do too, then this moment is for you. Let's walk this path together. Not to escape the pain, but to find something deeper within it, a truth, a hope, a blessing that's been waiting for you all along. I promise, what's waiting at the end of this journey will be worth every second you spend here. Indeed, life's journey is a dance of highs and lows. It's not a straight, smooth path but a meandering road filled with twists, turns, detours, and sometimes, even those unavoidable potholes. There are moments when you feel as though you've reached the very summit of the world, when everything is harmoniously aligned, when joy and gratitude bubble up within you like a sweet spring. But then, there are also those moments where you feel as if you're being dragged under by an unseen current, where you are drowning in a sea of despair, struggling with all your might to stay afloat. And it's during these moments of struggle that our hope can seem to flicker and fade, that fear and doubt try to creep into the sanctuary of our hearts and minds. We might begin to question the foundations of what we believed, wondering if a divine presence even exists, if that power truly sees our pain, or if it cares. We might even descend to the point of thinking we're being punished, that we must have done something terribly wrong to deserve such affliction. I've known that valley, many of us have, and I deeply understand the storm that might be raging within you now, but it's precisely here, in this very place, that the true essence of unshakable faith emerges. It's not about possessing all of the answers, it's about the courage to keep trusting even when we're faced with seemingly unanswerable questions. It's not about running away from pain or avoiding suffering but about embracing it, with the deep understanding that there is a greater purpose interwoven into it, that it's all part of a larger story being beautifully crafted by a loving hand. It's about the inner strength to keep putting one foot in front of the other, even when your legs are weary, your heart is heavy, and your spirit feels completely drained. Unshakable faith doesn't mean denying the reality of your struggles. Instead, it allows you to see your reality through a lens of love and hope. It acknowledges that, yes, your circumstances might be difficult, but simultaneously believes that God is greater than all those difficulties, that His love is stronger than any fear that may come your way, and that His power exceeds any obstacle that dares stand in your path. It's knowing, with every fiber of your being, that you are never walking these valleys alone, that there is a divine presence, a constant companion, with you every step, even in the darkest night. Consider this: when you face any challenge with faith, you're not solely relying on your limited human capacity, rather, you're drawing strength from a boundless reservoir of divine power, an overflowing stream of love, and an endless river of grace. You're aligning yourself with the very force that ignited the universe, the same force that sustains all life, and the same force that has the power to transform any situation, no matter how bleak it may appear. It's about tapping into something far larger than ourselves. I want to tell you about a woman I once knew, a soul that was marked with deep resilience, whose journey embodies this very truth. Her name was Sarah, and she lived with a chronic illness that cast long shadows over every aspect of her life. There were days when the pain was so intense, it consumed her entirely, days when she was forced to retreat from the world, confined to her home, alone with her silent cries and unspoken fears. The doctors offered her little hope, and the world, it seemed, had all but forgotten about her existence, but Sarah had something the world didn't see. She possessed a flame of faith, a steadfast belief that she was never truly alone. In her darkest moments, she would turn to prayer, pouring out her heart to a loving God who, she knew, was always listening. She didn't always receive a miraculous healing, or an immediate answer to her prayers, yet, she experienced small moments of grace, a kind word from a friend, a beautiful sunrise breaking through the storm clouds, or an unexpected feeling of peace that washed over her. These moments, they were like tiny seeds of hope, planted deep within her soul, reminding her that she was loved, she was cherished, and she was always seen. Years passed, and although her physical suffering continued, something began to transform within her. She found strength she never knew she had, a deep well of courage that was fueled by her unwavering belief. Her struggles didn't diminish, but her spirit began to soar, and she learned that victory wasn't the absence of pain, but the presence of peace in the midst of it. She began to use her pain as a way to connect with and comfort others who were battling their own unique storms. Her once isolated journey became a light for many who felt forgotten, a testament to the power of unshakable faith, not in the absence of trials, but in the midst of them. Sarah's story illustrates that victory, true victory, is not about escaping the storm but about finding peace within the storm. It's about discovering the power of resilience, the strength of hope, and the transformative grace of faith that can bloom even in the most barren of landscapes. It's a victory that is available to us all, regardless of the trials we face, if only we open our hearts to God's grace and surrender our fears into His hands. So, how exactly do we nurture this kind of unwavering faith? It begins with a conscious choice, a daily commitment to align your life with that which is higher than yourself. It starts with a willingness to open your heart to the boundless love of God, to acknowledge His constant presence in your life, and to release those fears that have been holding you captive into His loving care. It's about setting aside moments for prayer, seeking His guidance, and allowing His word to transform your mind and heart, like gentle rain nourishing a parched land. It's also about taking the time to reflect on the many ways in which God has shown Himself to be faithful to you in the past. Recall those moments when He pulled you through, those times when you felt you had reached the end of your strength, only to find that He was always present. Remember those moments when you prayed for something that seemed utterly impossible, and He responded with a grace and timing that far exceeded your own expectations. These moments, they are the anchors of faith, the pillars on which you can build a foundation of strength, and most important, it's about choosing to believe in a power that's far greater than you, choosing to believe in the transformative potential of God's love, choosing to believe that you are designed for purpose, and that victory is not a faraway dream, but a living reality that can be touched here and now. Don't wait until you have all of the answers or have overcome all your challenges to start believing. You can choose to start believing right here, in this very moment. My friend, you are not alone in this journey. You are deeply cherished, immeasurably loved, and you are destined for a purpose far greater than you can even imagine. The weight you feel, the pain you endure, it is not the sum of who you are. Don't allow your past to dictate your future, don't allow your present to overwhelm you, and don't allow fear to rob you of the joy that awaits you. Embrace the unconditional love that surrounds you, and allow it to guide your every step forward. God will never abandon you, He will always hold your hand, and He will bring you through every storm, even if that storm feels like it will last forever. I speak this with the certainty of one who has also felt the sting of doubt, the icy grip of despair, and the weight of unbearable burdens. But I've also been lifted up by the transforming power of faith. I've seen what was deemed impossible become possible, what was once broken be restored, and what was lost be found. And it's not because of any power within me, but because of the immeasurable power of a loving God who is constantly by my side, always guiding me, and always holding me in the palm of his hand. And that's why I'm sharing this truth with you today. Not because I know everything, but because I've experienced the peace, the joy, and the triumph that comes from placing my trust in God, in every circumstance. I want you to feel that too. I want you to know that you are not alone, you are completely loved, and that with God, you possess the power to overcome any adversity. So, I encourage you now, with all the force of my heart, to take these words and allow them to settle deep into your soul. Let them transform how you perceive yourself, your challenges, and the world around you. Embrace a faith that is unyielding and watch as it unleashes a victory that is unstoppable in your life. You are a child of the divine, you are destined for greatness, and you are loved beyond all measure. Choose to believe, today. The journey ahead may not be without challenges, but with faith as your compass, you can, and will, navigate it with grace, courage, and a hope that can't be extinguished. May God bless you always, and may your path be filled with joy, peace, and overflowing love. Rest assured and sleep well, for God is always by your side, protecting you and guiding you through every challenge in life. No matter how your day has been, trust that His love and grace are always surrounding you, bringing peace and hope to your heart. If you feel encouraged, don't forget to follow and support the channel so that together we can spread messages of love and share the heart of God's grace with more people. Wishing you a peaceful sleep in the loving embrace of God. Amen.